Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. Here at Center for Victory, we're here to help unlock, reinforce, and enrich relationships through personal and professional development. I'm Eric Guy, Chief Victory Officer at the Center for Victory. With me today is Miss Carrie Albright. She is the account exec for the New Orleans Saints and the Pelicans. Really exciting. She very young, just got been down there very long, so it ought to be interesting what advice she gives us today, this month. As you know, Carrie, we're talking about Wonder Women. We want to celebrate women and what they're up to and what they're doing. And if you could give advice today, especially to young women, you're pretty much, I would say, still straight out of college, doing something really fun that you really love. So I'm really excited for you to share with us what all you've been doing and give us some tips so other people can take that and run with it as well. First off, a little bit about you. Talk about you, who you are, what you do. Go into a little bit more depth from what I said, please.
Yeah, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I actually am from North Huntington, Pennsylvania. I attended the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown for 4 years. Have a degree in marketing and management. I knew I always wanted to work in sports all my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do or, how I could get there or, what were the steps I needed to take, but I knew I wanted to do it anyways. So shortly after I graduated, I reached out to one of my friends from high school. He actually works for the Pirates now. I was like, listen, like what do I need to do to get here? What's the first step? So he told me to attend as many job fairs as you can, get face to face with these companies, let them learn about you. So I attended a job fair in Pittsburgh actually 2 years ago, in March, at Robert Morris University, and about 30 professional sports teams were there. The Saints and Pelicans being one of them. I was very nervous. I didn't know, I was like, what am I doing there? Like, I've never been in sales ever. I don't know what I'm doing. I went anyways, and I met with the Saints and Pelicans, and I talked with them throughout the day. They asked me to follow up in a couple weeks, so I did. And we did a more formal interview. I did with like a couple other teams too, the New York Jets, the Miami Heat. I interviewed with them as well, but I ended up taking this position as an intern, so I wasn't even full-time. I moved down to New Orleans as soon as I graduated college. So I graduated college in, it was April. I moved down here in May, a month later, starting out as an intern, making, I think, $7 an hour.
April of 19.
Was that?
April 2019?
18.
18, yeah, so, okay. So, and then you moved straight there in May.
Yes, with my boyfriend at the time, now fiance. So, and then 8 months later, I worked my butt off, did what I could. 8 months later, I got promoted to full-time. So now a year later, I've been in this position as an account executive.
Okay, and that kind of answered my second question of what did it take, but you did a bang-up job on that.
It wasn't easy, but
yeah, that was a big risk, right? I mean,
right.
That's kind of a distance.
Yeah, moved from my family. I was like, all right, well, we'll see where this goes.
It was really your dream, though, is what you've really have said that you wanted to work for a sports team. You had an opportunity, big risk, but you took it. It's working out for you. Mm-hmm. What do you think, what would you say are some of your biggest challenges, or what have been your biggest challenges? And if you could speak specifically to being a woman, what have been your biggest challenges so far?
Yeah. I'm going to talk specifically in sports, but I'm sure this is a lot of places too, but in sports, there's, it's known for being a male dominant, community. There's not a lot of women at all. I think there's, including myself, I think there's nine sales reps who are girls out of like, there's like 30 or 40 salespeople. So that's definitely one of the biggest challenges is, connecting yourself with the right people. It's not a lot of girls at all that I work with. So it's difficult trying to, like I said, connecting with them and, trying to get along with the guys as well. Working in sports, everyone thinks that, oh, you need to know, the players, every single player, every stat. Well, that's not true at all. My job is to talk about the experience. So if I can do that, then I can do my job. So a lot of people think it's, it's not for girls, but it is. So.
And you're doing really well too, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah. I've heard that several times that you're really doing well, and kudos to you for following your dream. And so far, like, what have been some of your, even outside of work, what would you say are your biggest triumphs or successes?
I'd say first, moving away. I know it's, very difficult for some people to, just, especially right after college, like moving from your family, close friends. So definitely doing that on my own. It being almost 2 years, it's getting a little easier. So definitely that. With my job, biggest successes is I've had a goal I've had to hit every year, and I hit that. Just, doing what I need to do every single day and learning as much as I can.
Good. Obviously you didn't get to where you were at by yourself. Who have been like one or two people that have been most influential in your life?
I'd say definitely my parents. They've been, supporting me throughout this whole thing. When I was going through the process, like I said, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. So I've talked to them throughout it. They were supportive. I know this is more than two people, but my professors at UPJ, like Corey, when I went to the job fair, I was like, Corey, can you help me? Like, can you look at my resume? Is my resume good? He's helped me throughout this journey. Because I've had, through high school, through college, so many people tell me, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get this job. You're not going to get your dream job right out of school. So, all those people have been with me throughout this.
Yeah, and just for those of you listening or watching, Carrie mentioned Corey. Corey's actually one of our executive consultants here, and has in the past taught at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, and among other places. But great advice from him, and it's just amazing to see what some of you guys have accomplished. Some in the classroom, because I've stayed in touch with some of you here and there, even though I just come to come in one time. It's actually been neat for some of you that have reached out and to see what you've done. And I really appreciate the fact that you went out and chased your dream. It's got to be really cool to do that for something that you really love. I think it's really cool just because it's a sports team. I like New Orleans too. I mean, maybe not as much as our Pittsburgh teams, but it's definitely a cool place to be. What are some things that you've done? I kind of heard a little bit of it, but what are some things that you've done or steps you've taken to be successful?
I would say the main one is being confident. Starting out here, I have never made a sales call. I've never went on appointments. I've never done anything. I think Jen hit on it in her talk where, it's not about what's on your resume. It's not about the title of your job. It's, what you can do, and being confident and believing in yourself is a big one for me. Also, I've, reached out to a lot of people who I work with, not just on my team, but VPs of marketing, our service and retention team, my big boss, the VP of sales, reaching out to them just because you never know when another opportunity is going to come up, and it's much easier to go to them whenever you need something when they know who you are, as opposed to just, going up to them the one time you need something. It's a lot harder to do that. So just building relationships with my coworkers, also trying to meet new people in the area. Also, I would say I've been into reading a lot, like personal development books. I've been really big into. I used to hate reading like all my life until like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I started getting all these personal development books. So that's really helped me become a better person, motivates me, learn new things from books.
Anyone you like in particular that you would recommend to folks listening?
Yeah, I would say actually our VP of basketball operations, David Griffin, he told us to read a book. It's called Chop Wood, Carry Water.
Yep.
I forget who it's by, but it's called Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's a really good book.
It is.
I read Start With Why. I also have your book down here as well. So.
Oh, wonderful. Kind of last question to sum it up. What tips do you have for people, especially young women? I mean, you're what, 22, 23?
24, yeah.
24? Okay, right out of school. Chasing your dream, you had to take that risk. What would you tell other young women who aspire to be successful and go after what their dreams are?
Yeah, I would say get with a lot of people, ask a lot of questions, and be willing to step out of your comfort zone. You have to, because if you don't, nothing's going to change. Step out of your comfort zone, get uncomfortable. It's going to get scary, but just do it. So that's what I would say. Just do it.
Very good advice. Do you have a who dat yet? You got that down yet?
Yes.
Well, we usually end with a quote. I usually end, but you had this fantastic idea to share a couple that you see every day. So give us the story behind the quotes, and then can you give us the quotes, please?
Yeah. So I actually work in the Saints and the Pelicans practice facility. So my office is right down the hall from the Saints locker room, which is really cool. So players are going in and out every day, as well as we are. So there's quotes all around the building, like all around. But these are my two favorite ones that I see every day. It's by Walt Disney. If you can dream it, you can do it. And then the one that's inside our sales office is push boundaries, extend your limits, and exceed goals. So I see those two every single day.
And you have certainly done that already. And thank you for imparting your wisdom. And I hope the folks listening and watching enjoy this. You're a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
To going out, getting it done, taking a risk. I mean, that's huge from, going from a little small town in Pennsylvania to following your dreams in New Orleans. And I wish you all the best. And I wanted to be sure to tell you, I will be down in May in case you're around.
Nice. Yeah.
I'll be speaking down there in the middle of May. So hopefully I'll run into you again and give us some more good advice. But thanks a lot, Carrie. That's all for today, folks. Really appreciate you watching. Make sure you leave this video a like and leave a comment down in the comments section if you would. Also appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon to get notified of when we post next. If you'd like more information, you can visit us at centerforvictory.com. And as we always end, just remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet. See ya.
Bye. Thanks.